Oh, a buyback. Oh, this is fun. A buyback is the ability to buy back years of service in your pension. So, like for example, you've been working at this job now for what, 5 years, but you've only contributed to your pension for 4 because you took that year off for maternity leave, right? So a buyback is the option to be able to buy that year of pensionable service back at a later point in time. There's a variety of reasons that a buyback can be offered, but in this case, this is exactly why. You did not contribute to the year for that 1 year, and now they're saying if you want to buy it back now, you can. But why would you? Why would you want to buy back? Because you're buying back, you know, pensionable earning years. You could potentially retire with a higher income than you would if you hadn't contributed for that year, or you even could retire earlier. So, for example, if you were retiring with a higher income, if you had a defined benefit pension, your payment is going to be based off of your years of pensionable earnings, your salary, and a multiplier that they use. So if you have 4 years of pensionable earnings or you have 5 years, that fifth year is going to be better for you. Also, if you think about retiring early, we would kind of work with the magic number of 85. We say your current year that you are now and the amount of years that you've been in this pension, if the two add up to 85, you can retire without penalty to your pension. But if you, let's say, you've had your age you are now in retirement, and then you've had, the amount of pensionable service years -1, because if you were to retire at that age, you would have a penalty based off of that 1 year that you missed. So if you're able to contribute back that 1 year, then you possibly are able to retire a little bit early, because we're only allowed to contribute to a pension for a maximum of 35 years anyway. So those are the benefits to a pension buyback, but there can be some drawbacks to doing it, and mostly it's a battle between your current self and your future self. So for example, if you buy back into a pension, it can be expensive. Sometimes you're contributing your own contributions plus your employer's contributions for that 1 year. Sometimes your employer might offer you an installment plan option, and they'll take a certain amount off of your paycheck and say, okay, we're going to take off this much, but there's interest attached to that because they've effectively given you a loan. That increases the amount of your pension buyback and something to be considered. And also, finally, sometimes it just takes away from your cash flow that you need right now to fund your cash flow later on in the future. So there are definitely things to consider. So how you contribute to a buyback, there's a couple of different ways that you can do it. Well, there's generally a few, but the most important are you can take, cash that you have in your account and like your regular bank account, you can take that cash and then you can buy it back into your pension. That, might create a taxable event for you. So definitely something to consider and talk to a financial planner about. You could also take money from your RSP, so cash from your RSP accounts, and transfer that laterally across into the pension buyback. So you have different options on how you can get that money in there, but you want to make sure that you're not creating a taxable event for your own self now, to be able to fund a larger retirement in the future. So when I consider buybacks and the positives of it and the drawbacks of it, and just sort of in general what it all means, I consider sort of the following things. So taxes are always number one. Taxes are very, very important. We try to keep them to a minimum as best we can, both now and in retirement. Also consider longevity. When you get paid a pension, your pension is paid for life. So that's something really to consider when you have that buyback option, because it will increase that amount you're going to get monthly for the rest of your life. One of the most important aspects of considering a buyback is the company itself. We want to make sure that the company is okay and they're 100% funded and they're able to maintain their pension payments, that they're supposed to. And then of course we consider cash flow and make sure that whatever you're doing now to whatever you're doing later matches, what you need it to be. When we consider buying back your pension, they generally, you only have a certain amount of time to do it. And the company is going to tell you exactly, what that looks like. And you kind of want to move a little faster than normal on looking through these things. And one of the big parts is sort of cost. Like if you think your wage is going to go up later on, and you have a buyback option now when your wage is lower, you want to take advantage of it now because it will cost you less to do that. But there's always urgency to a buyback. So you want to get on that as quickly as you can. Each employer is going to be different. Each option will be different, but you want to, like we should sit down and take a look at this right now and see if we can sort this out so you can take advantage of this opportunity.